So hi and welcome to this video. As you can see by the title of this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting off the new series on making your own YouTube style website from scratch. And as you can also see, this isn't an empty document, and the reason for that is because I went ahead, I made the design ahead of time, and this PHP code is just part of the design, so that certain elements change depending on the user's browser, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. So if I go over to the website here, you can see I've got this menu, and I made this myself ahead of time. It took me about an hour or two, and I tested it in Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, and Opera. And as you can see, this is just what it is. Now when you click on the search box, the whole menu highlights, and the color of the underline changes, and we can type in our search box. So this is going to be a free download in the description, so that we don't have to waste time making it in the tutorials. But I made this 100% myself, so we don't need to worry about any copyright or anything because I made it. So now I'm going to go into this folder and in the video box folder, and as you can see, I have a folder called CSS. And this is where that PHP code comes into play, because as you can see, there's 3 folders. One for WebKit, one for Internet Explorer, and one for Firefox. And the reason for this is because browsers all run on things called engines, and that's how they display pages on the internet, and that's why Internet Explorer displays pages differently to Google Chrome. And Firefox has its own engine as well. So Safari and Opera and Google Chrome use WebKit, Internet Explorer uses its own, and Firefox uses its own. So that's why I need 2 style sheets for every single one for each browser, so that everything displays the same, because we need to change them a bit in each style sheet. And that's one of the reasons I did it ahead of time, because it would take a while to make sure that it all worked. But as you can see, we have a style sheet called menu black and menu lighter, and then we have the same in all the folders. The only difference is the style sheets are slightly different, so that it still gives us the same end result. In every browser it looks like this, but the way we do it in certain browsers is different. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about before we get into before we actually start writing some code, is how this search box actually makes the whole thing light up. And that's why we have menu black and menu lighter, because whenever we click on the search box, it just changes the style sheet that the menu uses. So I just changed the style sheet to make the colors a bit lighter, and then make the underline lighter instead of green. So I'm just going to start at the very top. So this is just a PHP function called getBrowser. It's I didn't make it, I just got it off the PHP website. And what it does is it just figures out which browser the user has. And all I did was use some simple if statements. So if browser equals Google Chrome, or if browser equals Apple Safari, then we give them the style sheet that's in the WebKit folder for the menu black, because that's the first thing that people see when they go on our website. The first time they load it, they see the black menu, and I did that for all of them. And if we go on down, you can see here it says on blur menu black, and then if we go over a bit, on focus menu, or swap menu, which is just a JavaScript function. It's really simple. It's in this file here. So this is the JavaScript function. It just gets the menu element and sets the href attribute to whatever is given in the function. So whatever parameter we give the function is set to the href attribute, which is way up here, but it doesn't matter for the minute. So as you can see, it says on focus, and then what that means is on focus is just when the user clicks on it. So when the search box is on focus, we change the style sheet to the lighter one. And then on blur just means it's just basically whenever the focus goes away. So whenever they click away from the menu, it goes back to the black one, and that's how it works. So that's it for the introduction, and let's get started with some real code. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to copy this function to a separate file. So I'm just going to click Control X, and then I can actually just delete all this to get all together. So I'm going to make a new file, save it as functions.php. So I'll go back to video box, go to includes, and well, that's because I was making this website or this menu for my actual Creative Code website, and then I decided I'm going to use it for this series as well to save me making a separate one. So that's what the file is for. So I'll just create a file called functions.php, create some PHP tags, make a comment maybe saying the video box functions file, and then just paste the function in so that it's out of the way. Then in the index page we just have to include it, so include the // just means look in the same folder I'm in, so I'm already in the video box folder, so it just means stay in that folder basically. Then we go to the includes folder, and then we go to functions.php. Whoops. There. Okay, so now we've included the functions file. We shouldn't see any change. So let's just let that load. So as you can see, that didn't change. That's it. It worked. We've included it separately. And the reason for that is because we're going to create a new function in a minute. So what I'm going to do is say and bul, so a bullet point basically. And then we're going to set PHP. And we're going to echo the page title function, which is a function we haven't created yet, but we're going to do that now. And I'm just going to give it a title of share your videos with the, whoops. So share your videos, whoops. So share your videos with the world is going to be the title of our page. And the page title function is a function that hasn't been created yet, so we're going to create that now. So let's create that function now. So we're just going to say function page underscore title. We're going to give it a variable of page title, and then we're just going to say down here return page title. So what this does is inside the page title function, whatever parameter we give it is stored, or whatever parameters we give it is stored in the page title variable, and then underneath we're just returning the page title variable. Returning is just basically a bit like printing. So what this will do is, well, I'll show you. So now we've echoed the result of the page title function. This is what we should see. So it says video box, and then there's a bullet point, and then share your videos with the world, which is what we give it's what we fed into our function here. So that means it's working. And now that we've done that, I'm going to show you the logo I created for this tutorials. So images, and then here's just an icon of the logo I created. And yes, it resembles the iOS YouTube app, but I made it myself from scratch. I didn't download it anywhere, so for tutorial purposes it should be fine, and it's for educational use as well. And I made it myself, so there shouldn't be any problems with it. But the only thing is, if you were using this as a serious video website, you would probably want to change that to your own icon. But we won't get in trouble for using it in these videos, or for me putting it in this source code, because I made it myself. So that means it's fine. So we're going to go down here on the index page, and here's all the menu and things. And actually what we're going to do first, we're going to create a new file, save it in the includes file or folder, and call it header.php. And then I'm just going to copy all of the header stuff, because it's getting a bit too complicated at the moment. So we're just going to copy down to there and click Control X, and then we're going to save it in the header file. So all these breaks are just so that we have a scroll bar, We can scroll around. They're not actually required and they're not actually important. So I'm going to say just include it. So includes / header.php, and so what we're going to do at the same time is we're just going to copy all this and we're going to create a new file and call it footer.php, and we're just going to paste it in, and we're going to do the same thing as we did up here. We can actually get rid of all these at the moment. So what we're going to do is just paste that in there. So we shouldn't see any change except that bar should just disappear. So now that bar is gone, and we shouldn't see any change in the actual website. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to open the site_style.css file. I'm going to create a div called welcome div. Background color is going to be CCC. Or let's try. Okay, we'll do that. The width is going to be 80%. The margins are going to be 0 from the top, and then auto from the right, and then 0 from the bottom and auto from the left. So I should center it. It's going to have a border on the edge, 1 pixel solid, 6666666, and then we're just going to create the welcome div. So the div class is just going to be welcome div, and then in here we're just going to say welcome to see what it looks like. So for some reason that didn't show up. Whoops. For some reason that didn't show up correctly. So we can have a look why. So if we go to site_style.css, welcome div is there. And then we see what we did wrong. Okay, we spelled welcome wrong. So I'm just gonna paste in exactly and then go back. So here's our div. It's maybe a bit too dark, so we're just going to go into the site style and then change it to a lighter color, so 999, 999, and then let's just see what that looks like. It's darker. Okay, let's try F1, F1, F1 for the actual box. So it's slightly lighter, or a slightly dark white, so then we're just going to change this to let's see, CCC. Let's try that. So that looks better. We're also going to say, we're actually going to set the margin at the top to be 10 pixels. And then just, it should, whoops. Let's say padding 10 pixels, auto. So that should just give us a padding on the top of 10 pixels, or no, 0. Oops, and then just see now. Okay, something's a bit wrong. So the simplest thing we can do here is actually just put a paragraph tag in there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just put some break tags in here. So 3 break tags should do it. And there we have a slight gap now. So I actually don't like the border on it. So we'll just say border none. Okay. And then, I don't know, padding 5 pixels everywhere. Okay, so that looks better. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get our icon. So we'll just say image source. The ./ just means look in the directory we're in, which is video box, and then look in the images folder and then look for video box icon.png. So there's our icon. Okay, so I know what we'll do. We'll get rid of one of these break tags, and then what we'll do is we will give it a border on the bottom of 1 pixel solid, and then CCC. So okay, that looks a bit better. So then we'll just get a h2 element beside it. Welcome to video box. So we need to change that in the CSS. So in here we'll just go down here and say h2 font family Arial Helvetica sans serif, and then font weight is gonna be let's say 200. Okay, so let's refresh this now. Yeah, maybe a bit bigger. So let's say font size 16 pixels. Let's try 20 pixels. And then what we'll do is we'll actually decrease the font weight. Okay, that didn't do anything. So let's just leave that at 200, and then we'll say display inline. And then then we'll just say padding top 10 pixels. So what we'll say is float right, and then what this will do is just put it up here. And then what we'll say is we'll actually increase the size of the gray box to let's see if we go up 830, which is the size I give it for the wrapper. So 830 pixels. So it should just about fill the screen. Maybe actually a bit less. Okay, so that looks about right. And then we're just going to go underneath, create a paragraph tag. Welcome to video box. The I don't know, only choice, or I don't know, the best way to share your videos online. Let's do something like that. And let's just create an inline CSS style. And let's just say float right, text align left. And now we just have to put some space in. Okay, and then just to fill space, I'm just gonna just paste it in a few times. Okay, that didn't work. I think this just has to be one big set or one sentence, not individual. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I thought of a better way to do this. So what we're gonna do is we'll just get the image and paste it in here. And that did not work. So we're just gonna paste the image on top of all that. So as you can see, the image kind of overhangs a bit, and I think that looks a bit better than it did before. So we're actually gonna get rid of this H2 maybe. And we'll just put a few breaks in. So what we can actually do is just put a H2 in, and we can just put a space in it. So and MBSP gives us just an empty one, and then we can just put a break in here. So there we have it. It looks a bit better, and I mean, you can change the look of that if you want. I'm afraid that's it for this video, because it's just basically an introduction sort of to the actual code of the website, and in the next video we'll probably be registering users and things like that. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and in the next video we'll actually most likely be logging in and things like that, not actually registering, because I like to do the logins first. So I'll see you next time.